Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this video here I take 10 common rocks that anybody out there can find and I cut them in half to see what's inside. And then I'll take each one of them rocks and we'll make a cabochon out of them and I will show that in the next episode. So today I got some rocks that Tom sent over from Minnesota, and then later in the video I got cabochons I made out of Amanda rocks that she sent from Pennsylvania from episode 60. So stick around for that. So let's flip the camera around here and take a look at the rocks that Tom sent us from Minnesota. So let's look at this cool selection of rocks that Tom sent over. We'll start with this one here. So again, you know, Minnesota's right next door, but a lot of the rocks he's finding over there probably, you know, I could find here, but I don't know. I'm just going to guess at it. So this is looking like a piece of quartz. And we'll get it wet. Okay, got some color going through there. A little layering. Ooh, it's got a little cross thing there. Okay. All right, here we got a piece of sedimentary rock. And this one here definitely got some color going there. I don't know if it goes through the rock or not, but we are going to find out. And I know what this one is. This is a piece of unakite here. And this is chunky unakite. A lot chunkier than what I pick up here. You can see the big chunks of orange feldspar and the epidote in there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We got this little one here. Got some orange feldspar in there, it looks like. Let's see what we got going there. Look at that. It's kind of going all over the place, this one here. Hopefully it's solid. All right, got another piece of sedimentary rock here. Looks like basalt or something in quartz. Kind of like a layer cake. Look at that. Okay. This one, kind of pinkish looking. Ooh, it is kind of pinkish looking. Oh, should be interesting on the inside. It's a lightning stone looking rock here. Now I'm kind of hoping this all goes through the inside because that's going to look really neat in a cab. A little brachiated, yeah. And this one here, looks like it's got kind of a light green theme going there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Almost looks like Amazonite. I don't know. I'll put that. No, I ain't gonna put that on there. But yeah. And this one here, another layered rock. Let's see what we got going in there. Ooh, really tight layers there. Okay. And finally, I know what this one is. This is a Lake Superior agate here. Now, Minnesota is famous for the large Lake Superior agates, especially right around Duluth and south of there, Moose Lake, right in there. So, and I'm going to cut this. I don't want to, but I'm cutting it. Get it wet here. There you go. Keep our fingers crossed. It's got some good looking pattern on the inside. So we sent some extras, and it's kind of nice to have extra rocks here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut them. I've been doing that now in the videos. So we got this one here. Kind of a layered rock. Looks very similar to one of the ones we just looked at, and I think that one right there. Okay. And then we got this one here, kind of a quartzy, churty looking rock. Get it wet quick. There you go. Looks like it's full of fractures though. And we got another layered rock or sedimentary rock. That one It's kind of soft though. We got this piece of flint chert, chalcedony, probably chalcedony from up here. That's what that one kind of looks like. A lot of conchoidal fractures in it. And then finally we got this little nodule here. Now, could be a possible agate. Could have lines inside of it, or it just could be a giant chunk of chalcedony. I don't know what that one looks like. All right, we're going to gather all these rocks up, going to take them downstairs, cut them in half, and see what's inside. So I'll see you on the saw. This is my 10-inch high-tech lapidary saw. It cuts with a continuous rim sintered diamond blade. The diamonds due to cutting, it don't cut with a point. It cuts by grinding. So I'm going to show you, I'm rubbing my thumb on it right now. And it don't even cut the glove, so this blade is absolutely not sharp. So don't worry about me cutting my fingers on this thing. So, got a nice selection of rocks here. Let's start cutting. Alright, first up is this one here. I'm just going to cut the face off here. Alright, let's see what Tom sent us today. That's nice. Look at that. So we're going to talk about these a little bit more upstairs, so I'm just going to cut them and look at them quick. Alright, this one here. Thinking I'm going to cut an end off this right here. See what this one looks like. Ooh. Wow, nice pattern. Nice color. This one here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut this side off here. See what we got in this one. Wow. Got this one here. I'm going to cut this face off right here. Oh, the line goes all the way through. Awesome. Okay. All right, got this one here. I'm going to cut this face off right here. Alright, what I am hoping for is this pattern inside the rock. See how lucky we got. Oh, cool. Okay. I got this piece of unakite here. I'm going to split it right down the middle. Alright, pattern and color. Wow, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Alright, got this sedimentary rock here. I'm just going to split it. Imagine the inside's going to look like the outside. Oh yeah. That should make a good looking cabochon. Okay, agate time. We're going to cut this. We got some fortification there. I can't tell you how much I hate cutting these things. Let's see. Oh, we're going to cut it like that. Alright, Let's look at the agate. Ooh, nice fortification. Okay. This little one here. Just gotta split it like that. The way this thing's built, it should have some pretty cool patterns in there. Yeah. And it feels solid too. And this one here, I'm just going to cut it. Actually, I'm just going to split it. So we got for pattern. Okay. Seeing a lot of porosity in there too. Oh, hematite. That's the alcohol hematite. Okay. Alright, I'm going to cut these guys here. But first we're going to touch up the blade. So I use an old grinding disc and I run it through 3 times. Basically what I'm doing is exposing diamonds so I can get a decent cut here. Alright. Cut this one here and cut off this side here. See what we got in here. Okay, it kind of looks like the outside. Cool. Now I'm not planning on making cabs out of these, but if I get a dud on this pile here, I might have to switch to one of these. Let's cut this one. We're going to cut this one right in half. Any pattern in here? Oh, kind of a layer arrangement going there. Okay. This one here, I'm going to cut this side off here. Alright, see what we got in here. Oh, interesting. 2 fractures though. Okay. This little one here. I'm going to cut it right in half. That's kind of neat. This one here, I'm going to cut this face off. Oh, look at that. Brownish yellowish on the outside, gray on the inside. Kind of cool looking. Alright, I'm going to gather all these up. I'm going to take them upstairs and take a closer look at them. We're back upstairs with the rocks I just cut in half on the saw downstairs. And I got some extra rocks that you saw me cut in half. So we're going to look at these first because these are the ones I'll be making cabochons out of. So we'll run it through the pool first, get some of the crumbs off. All right, there's this one here. Kind of had some layering going on there. Lots of colors on the outside of the rock. Look at the layers inside there. Nice smooth cut, no pits. That should make a really interesting cabochon right there. All right, had this lightning looking stone. This could be lightning stone. Usually I thought lightning stones are more reddish color, but this really don't make any difference. Got that. That's the other side. Had a little busted up stuff going on in there. There's the inside. So I think we're good there. I think because this will be the back side of the cab, and I'll be working on this side here. So I think we're going to get a good looking piece out of this. All right, another layered rock here. This one had kind of greenish tint going on. Look at that. That is really cool looking on the inside there. Yeah. We had this pinkish looking rock, and I'm going to say it looks like another, you know, sedimentary rock, layered. I like the color on it. So there's the outside, like that. If I can line it up again. Well, there's the inside. Look at that. That is so cool. You don't find a lot of rocks this color out picking. So I think this will be nice. It's got a few fractures in it though, so I might have to reorient it for cabochon. Another layered rock here. Had that cool looking red stripe running through there. And it goes into the rock. How cool is that? So I'm hoping I can incorporate that somehow into the cabochon. All right, got ourselves a superior agate here. And the reason I don't like to cut these is they're so hard to find. At least in our area they are. And you find something nice like this. In my collection, it goes right in the jar raw like this. But I'm cutting these because we want to see what's inside of them. Get some fortifications on the outside. An eye on the end there. There you go. Look at that. Lake Superior agate. A lot of quartz though. Still pretty. So we'll see what I can do making a cab out of this one. Now you know I really like the epidote, and this is no exception here. Look at that. Nice and chunky too. A little different from what I find here. Look at the inside. Isn't that gorgeous? The epidote and then feldspar. And it feels nice and solid, and not seeing any fractures in there. So we'll see what I can do with this one. This one might be my favorite one going into this batch here. This little one here. Had it ran in every direction. And you can see that on the inside of the rock here. Look at that. Well, looks like it's got a few pits, but I think we can work around those. Yep. And this one here. I was hoping it was going to be a little more solid, but all these dark stripes are full of hematite. You can kind of see the metallic shine right there above my thumbnail. When we cut it open, you can really see it in there. But man, it is just full of pits. So maybe I can take out a chunk and cut down on the pits a little bit. But I think once this is cut and polished, it's going to be beautiful with the hematite in there. We'll get a metallic shine out of that one for sure. And it's a busy rock though, looking at it from the outside. Look at that. Yep. And then another stripy rock here. This one. That's just beautiful pattern on the inside. Now my mind is just racing how I'm going to cab this one here. Okay, we got these extra rocks here. Let's blow through these real quick since I cut them and get them out of the bag. piece fighting me here. Good fight. All right, look at this one first. It's like a chunk of chalcedony there. And it's got some pattern in there. You can kind of see it. You should be able to see this on camera. That's that one. We had this little one here. Sedimentary. Nice and solid. Had a little color in it. Look at that. Beautiful. Another sedimentary rock here. Kind of brownish yellowish on the outside. Beautiful gray on the inside. Another piece of, I think, chalcedony. Some of these were really hard to cut. It took a minute or two to go through them. And this one here had some stuff going on in there. And the inside pretty much looks like the outside. Got a few bits in there. Got a fracture there that I see. Make a shiny cabochon for sure. I had this piece here. This one's full of fractures, but it's got some interesting pattern in there. I don't know if I can do anything with that, you know, without having a cab with a fracture in it. Yeah, we'll see. So I will make a cabochon out of each one of these rocks here. I got the cabochons I made out of the rocks that Amanda sent me from Pennsylvania. We're going to look at them next. So I'll get these out of the way and we'll look at some cabochons. Now it's time to look at some cabochons. I made one cabochon out of each of the rocks that Amanda sent from Pennsylvania. And we're going to take a look at these. So first up, I had this quartzy looking thing with feldspar. And I thought it was going to be crumbly because I saw these fractures and stuff in there. Get it wet so you can remember what it looked like here. Like that. So here's the cabochon. Absolutely shiny, smooth. And I like the pattern in it, even with the fractures, but it didn't fall apart. Look at that. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. Right, this one was kind of cool here. You can kind of see a little bit there, but it had some awesome looking pattern on the inside of it. Get it wet here. Look at that. Kind of a quartzite-like rock. Here's the cab I made out of it. Decent shine. The pattern come out pretty good. And finished well. No complaints. So there's the original rock and there's cabochon I made out of it. This one here, when I cut it, it was like cutting a stick of butter. The saw just buzzed right through it. And I tried to make a cab with it, and then it didn't come out very good. There's the cabochon. It was so soft, didn't shine. Here's some saw marks in it. I couldn't get I had a hard time getting it off the stick. You can see where I was trying to trim it up a little bit. It's just, you know, I don't even know if I'll put this one in my dud pack. So there's the original rock. There's cabochon I made out of it. I think sometimes I challenge myself too much on some of these rocks here. All right, this one here, I have no idea what this stuff is, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Kind of soft, but look at the pattern. So, man, if you're watching this, if you want to chime in on what you think this stuff is, this is just pretty. And it made an absolutely gorgeous cabochon. Look at that. Not a super shine, but for a soft rock, I got a pretty decent shine out of it. But it's just so pretty. This is probably my favorite one in this series here. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon it came out of. I had this piece of quartzy type stuff. It had a lot of druzy pockets in there. You can kind of see the quartz in there, or crystals shining. I was kind of optimistic whether this was going to make a good cabochon or not. I'll get it wet here real quick. So kind of, I had a lot of fracturing, you know, color okay. Well, here's the cabochon. Beautiful shine. Although I had a druzy pocket pop out towards the end there, but yeah. A little wax. I might get rid of that. Viewer told me I could use acetone, and acetone does take that stuff out. So there's the cabochon, and there is the original rock. Now here is another one that was kind of a surprise. It can have a kind of a greenish tint to it. Had this cool white line running through the middle of it. Pretty solid. So here is the cabochon I made. Look at that. Nice shine. The line kind of broke up on the cabochon, but I think there's enough there to make it interesting. It kind of goes to almost a pink color there on the side. Man, that is just gorgeous. So there is the original rock. There's the cabochon I made out of it. Now here's another one that still, I think, has a lot of potential in there, and I probably should have made a larger cabochon and kind of got out of the black stuff here a little bit, but here is the cab. Beautiful shine. Got a decent looking pattern in it. A little darker than I thought it would come out, but still. So there's the original rock, and there's cabochon I made out of it. All right, this one here, I had to do a little chopping to get a decent piece. This is the first piece I cut out, and I'll get it wet so you can see what it looks like. Had a nice little pattern in there. I was running into a lot of fractures and pitting, so I sliced it up a little bit. And this is what I ended up with. There's cabochon. Beautiful shine, just a little pitting on the top part, a little fracture right there. Other than that, I thought it'd come out pretty good. So there's a piece of the original rock, and there's cabochon I made out of it. We had this one, to me it looked like bone, but it's probably not. Some kind of sedimentary rock possibly. Had a cool looking little pattern going in there. There's cabochon. Beautiful shine, but I was running into pits while I was grinding on it. You can see one right there. But I don't think that really takes away from the way this rock looks here. So there's the original rock, and there's cabochon I made out of it. And then finally, had this one here, kind of a dark looking rock with some quartz, looks like running through there, like that. Here's the cabochon. Beautiful shine. Got some of the pattern in there. Actually cleaned up quite nicely. I didn't see very many pits. I don't think I've seen any pits in here. So there is the original rock. There's cabochon I made out of it. So there you have it. Rocks from episode 60 from Man Descent from Pennsylvania. Cabochons and the original rocks. So let's flip the camera around and finish this up. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me cut Tom's rocks in halves. There's some really nice looking rocks in the superior agate. You know, you can't say that's bad at all. Let me know what your favorites were, because we're going to make cabochon at each one of those, so we're going to have some cool looking stuff next week. And then the rocks that Amanda sent that I made cabs out of, you know which one's my favorite. Let me know what your favorite is. There's some really nice looking rocks. Although one The number 3 rock, that's going to end up outside in the landscape. I guarantee that. You know, they all can't be perfect. So I'm going to let Amanda pick 3 of these rocks, and then whatever ones she does not pick, except for the super dud I got here, I will put them on Etsy and make them available to everybody out there. I'd like to thank the subscribers. The numbers keep going up. I really, really appreciate it. And all you viewers that haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Absolutely free. Just push the button down below. Then everybody slide over. Give me a thumbs up, because that gets the analytics out there so more people can find this content. And then you can hyperlink it on your mobile device. You can share it with friends or whoever. And push that bell button for notifications, so when these videos come out, you'll know that they're out. Although you can look for them, because they're out every Wednesday and Saturday anyways. So thanks again, Tom, for sending them rocks. I really appreciate it. And Amanda, we made some really nice cabochons out of yours. That's all I got, and I'll catch you later.